Okay, I've just given you a couple of ideas, but I want you to just take a minute or two and jot down some things in your life that are uncertain. And some things in the business world that are uncertain, and I'll fill in this bit here. So just see if you can get some ideas there. Okay, let's have some ideas. What's some things in your life that are uncertain? Can someone give me an idea of one? Whether you're going to pass this course. No, that one's certain. Passing a course. I actually think there's probably a lot less probability in that one than you think. I think basically anyone who's still here is probably going to pass. But yep, okay, what's another thing that's uncertain? Okay, Amy, have you got one? Something in your life that's uncertain? Yeah, no, that's an interesting comment, especially at the age most of you are, as it is. There's a whole lot of things. What's going to happen in the future? One that worried me a bit, and may worry some of you, is who you're going to marry. And what will be the outcome? Those are sort of uncertain things. And on a much less big note than that will be who's going to win the Crusaders games and things like that. They're all uncertain things. Okay, in the business world, what are some of the things that really do make a big difference to decision-making problems in the business world that are uncertain? Yeah, I could hear someone muttering interest rates. That's a good one. We don't know what's going to happen in interest rates. There's a biggie at the end of this year. What's that one? Election. The outcome of the election makes a big difference. Another one happening in the States, the US economy. That's very uncertain at the moment. We have no idea what will happen, and it's going to have a big impact on us. What happens in the Middle East? Doesn't seem like the business world, but it is, because all of those things, apparently some pipeline was blown up yesterday or today, which means that oil prices are going to go up yet again. So that makes an effect on all the way through the world, basically, because consumer goods will now become more expensive because of transportation and so on. So those things are uncertain. Now, in some of them we have no idea at all, but often you can have uncertainty. It doesn't mean necessarily that we know nothing about the possible outcome, but we can still know what the possible outcomes are. We don't know which one of them will happen. So for this course, you know that you will either pass or you will fail. There are two outcomes. Okay, you could know for the US economy, it can either go up or it can go down. In the election, either National will be in power or Labour will be in power at the end of the year. So we can know what the possible outcomes are. We can also have some idea of the likelihood of possible outcomes. And that's how the racing industry and sports betting and so on make money, because people believe they have some idea of how likely it is for people to win games, and so they bet money on it. And in other things too, in business, if people think it's very likely that something will be a success, then their likelihood, they estimate it, and so they've got some idea of what can happen. Another one is that we can know the history of previous outcomes. I mean, one of the ones that affects us a lot in New Zealand is the weather. Every morning when we get up, what are we going to wear? I mean, is it going to be hot, cold? Is it going to start cold, get hot, start hot, rain, whatever? But we know from historical experience of living in Christchurch for a few years that around this time of year anything is possible. So we can use our history of previous outcomes to know or to guide what we're doing at the moment. And another thing that we can also know about something is the cost of outcomes. So if we come back to passing this course, if we pass it, there's no cost. If we fail it, we've got the cost of enrolling again or enrolling in another course. So plus the shame and whatever that goes with it all.